Welcome to Mimansa Longevity. I'm Dr. Mimansa. I'm a functional medicine physician, longevity doctor, and your host for the Mimansa Flourish program. This is the first holistic longevity program for precision hormones in women. I'm delighted to invite you into this community to share in the experience together of women stepping into their innate sense of balance and health and longevity, with a vision for a future that is holistic and really maintains a state of balance in your body, mind, and spirit for as long as possible. So as you ground into the presence of the meeting today, this is our second Q&A call for the Kosha Flourish program, inviting women from all over who are interested in longevity and hormones to come and learn together. This is a program that is designed around coaching, so it is open. And for those of you who are needing hormonal support, that is available through the program and through my clinic, where license allows, where regulations allow. It is a safe, holistic program where we are using functional medicine frameworks and earth-based elements to help your body come back into balance during a state of transition. And I see this from the ages of 25, as young as 25, all the way through to 65 and above. And so that's really the age range for this program. But for those of you that might be outside of this range, I still invite you to send a direct message. The information is available on my YouTube and how to contact us. There's an email and a phone number. You can text, you can call, you can send an email and ask questions. There's also a free 15-minute consultation for you to talk to me one-on-one and ask your questions. So again, I'm Dr. Mimansa. I'm a functional medicine physician based out of Los Angeles, and inviting you from all over the world to join me in this collaborative community called Flourish. And today I'm going to share with you on how to sign up for the next cohort, which is starting on May 1st. Kosha is a program that I've been running for several years. It is a holistic mind, body, spirit wellness program. And for the first time ever, we're able to move into the area of women's hormones, which has been a long time coming. And it is a natural first approach. We are using nutrition, lifestyle, dietary practices, circadian rhythm alignment to help you get the most out of your health and your hormones. And then for those with whom there is an ongoing imbalance, you have the opportunity to identify what areas you need further support of. So that is what I wanted to talk to you today, is how do we learn how to identify those key areas. So I invite you for the next couple of minutes to breathe with me. Go ahead and close your eyes, and you can place your hands on top of your heart. The heart being a space where women are often constricted. What within you is needing more nourishment? What within you is needing more connection? What within you is needing more love? Holding space for that, all parts of you. Let's take a deep breath in and release. As slowly as possible. Deep breath in breaths, we're coming into coherence. And as you come into coherence, you may realize that you're a little bit more tired than you thought you were. That you're a little bit slower than you thought you were. Or you might notice that your heart is beating a little bit faster than you realized. This is what I'd like you to really start to acknowledge and notice about yourself. What is your inner being saying and doing? And how do we go about all day sometimes just completely out of sync with what's happening inside? And how do we adjust ourselves and our daily lives to allow for space for you to be able to connect a little bit more deeply with that inner being, that soul level? So I invite you here today as we start our conversation. I'm going to share with you about the Flourish program, how to get enrolled, what it's all about. And I'm going to walk you through some ways to identify symptoms that might be showing up in your body. And in the program, we will be going into a lot more depth about these different systems that I'll introduce today. Each month, we cover a different system. Each week, you're assigned very specific tasks for you to do to identify and discover what's happening inside your body. And then we meet again and we go over it together. So together you learn in a group with my guidance on how to better come into unity and oneness with your inner being. And my hope is that with this awareness that us women will start to prioritize our health. And not just prioritize our beauty or prioritize our weight loss or, how we show up on the outside, but how we feel and what's actually happening on the inside as well. It's really both. So let's get into it today, shall we? Now this is an open conversation. It's available to you every week to join at this webinar. You can just sign up on the Zoom link that's made available to you and register. And you'll get the reminders into your email about these weekly Q&A sessions. And it's an opportunity for you to join and be part of the collective and community and learn. And then whenever you feel called, you can join the cohort and dive deeper into your own needs. I'm going to share with you a screen today that will hopefully give you some ideas on what to look for. So this is the second talk in our conversation around hormones. And each week we will be covering different sections. And I will be sharing with you ways to identify whether or not this is the right program for you and decide if you want to join. So again, I'm Dr. Mimansa down here. And today's talk is about why your hormones are actually feeling off, even when you're doing everything right. And this is the clinical pearl, so we have a beautiful pearl today. So what is the Kosher Flourish program? Well, let me share a little bit more about myself for those of you who are meeting me for the first time. Kosher Flourish is a women's hormone program. It is exclusively for women right now to join because we are focused on women's hormones. It is part of my extension of my clinical practice called Mimansa Longevity that is based out of Los Angeles. But this is a wellness program that is designed for women to join from all over the world. So if you are in the Middle East, if you're in Egypt receiving this message, if you're in France receiving this message, please don't hesitate to reach out, because we might be able to coordinate a spot for you. It is a US-based program, but there are ways to identify testing in your area as well. So there's a lot more to the program than just the testing of the hormones. There are nutrition segments. There are patterns you need to recognize in yourself, different symptoms to look for. So it's an ongoing conversation that you'll be receiving information every week about, and an opportunity to join live and also to share in education. So who am I? I'm Dr. Mimansa, and I'm MD. I'm a functional medicine physician that is specialized in precision hormones and longevity medicine. So what does that mean? It's a unique approach to hormones where I'm actually customizing and personalizing the framework for your individual body needs, not just around the levels, but also including genomics. And it's a systems-based approach. Okay, so we're looking at whole systems. It's not just about the reproductive tract. It's about the digestive tract, the metabolic system, the thyroid, adrenals, all the systems that play together to create harmony in the body. I'm a physician trained in clinical pathology, specialized in diagnostics, nutrition science, and I've been mostly trained in the US, both at Columbia, UCSF, and Stanford. And I've had a deep, I would say, dive into interpreting complex lab data and also now hormone data. I've served as a medical director at Genova Diagnostics, Jumpstart MD, two leading areas in the US where we've done wellness programs and also diagnostic testing for functional medicine. And I'm also very involved in physician education, so training doctors on functional medicine and working in systems where we have multiple sites and coordinating care. But my work now really focuses on helping women with their early shifts in hormones, understanding their metabolism and their stress physiology. And I'm so excited to tie this back together with what we all are concerned about as we age, is how we look, right? How does it show up on the outside? Symptoms like weight gain, skin integrity, hair concerns, loss of hair, dry hair. I've been through all this. Low energy. Translating all this into a clear, actionable strategy for creating harmony inside the body. And understanding when it is the hormones and when it's not the hormones is also part of what I'm going to teach you. It's not always the sex hormones. And it's very important to not have blind trust, right? So to not have blind faith where you just take what's said at face value and then you just do it. I would like you to learn how to ask questions. I would like you to learn how to be critical about the information that is coming at you. Because in today's world, we know that there's an information overload. The sources of the information are not necessarily clear, and the integrity of that information is very mixed. So learning to discern the information that's coming to you is critical, but I don't expect you to be an expert. So this conversation is that space for you to ask questions and learn. And we learn together. There might be things that we're discovering together, and that's perfectly normal. So invite you into the conversation, into the collective, so you can be part of this community. I'll share with you how to do that. What I'm finding these days is that many high-functioning women are already doing the right things. They're eating well, they're exercising, they're trying supplements, yet they're still experiencing persistent fatigue, weight resistance, poor sleep, gut issues, mood changes, and low libido. And this session, we're going to reframe this hormone imbalance not as a failure, but as an effort. However, there's a disruption in the biological signaling taking place across these interconnected systems within your body that we'll talk about. So remember, hormone balance is not a single issue. It's a systems issue. It's a whole system that's connected. All these hormones are playing a symphony. And that symphony can either be sounding beautiful, or when a few instruments are off, guess what? Sounds terrible. So let's get that back into a beautiful harmonic situation in your body, right? That's what we're aiming for. So what happens when we have disharmony? We have stress. And stress, that stress system is cortisol and DHEA, often regulating. Those are two main hormones. And those are regulating your energy, your resilience, and your survival response. So how well are you surviving in this world today? It is not an easy task to survive in today's world and thrive in today's world, right? So oftentimes that is what we're focused on. Metabolic system is often mediated by insulin and glucose, but also people forget that the thyroid hormone is controlling your metabolism as well and is very critical for metabolism. So this is governing your energy production and your cognitive function, your focus, your concentration, your weight loss, your energy. Now I see, time and time again, patients come to me that have been in the 80s or so, 90s, they've taken some type of stimulant for weight loss that affected their thyroid, and now 20 years later, they're really suffering. Well, we want to identify if that's the case for you, and we want to get that back into balance, because we can't, take quick fixes that are extreme and non-specific and expect that the body is going to be healthy 20 years later, right? So it's really about fine-tuning, refining the process, refining how we address these things. I'm not here to hurt your body, and I don't want you to either. So we're going to be doing this very gently and very specifically. So the reproductive system is estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone, all often in symphony, that are regulating and driving your mood, your cycle, your body composition, and of course, most importantly for many people, their libido, right? What happens when we age? We often lose our libido, we lose our sex drive, we lose our interest, and we lose our energy. And we chalk it all up to aging. And we think that's natural. We say we've been together with this person for so long, so of course you're going to lose interest. No, that's not normal, and that's not natural. And in fact, staying in that excited state of your body's sort of what I call peak, as long as possible, is also part of healthy longevity. So let's talk about that. Let's open the conversation, open that can of worms, and have a conversation about what that looks like for you in a closed setting of trust. These symptoms operate as an integrative network. So dysregulation in one is going to affect the others. So what's a common pattern behind all these symptoms? We're seeing a frequent pattern of chronic stress that results in cortisol dysregulation. So we can test this. How long has that stress been present, and how has it affected your cortisol? Early signs: people who are getting up in the morning and feeling exhausted, people who are wired and tired throughout the day, or people that can't sleep at night or are crashing early at night. These are all different patterns of cortisol dysregulation. We want to identify which pattern you have and find the right treatment strategy for you. People will often have reduced progesterone. This is more of a problem often than not, and much more of a problem than even estrogen. So reduced progesterone is often resulting in a relative estrogen imbalance, because it's about the ratio of estrogen to progesterone, not just one or the other. So when your physician is measuring the two, are they looking at the ratio? It's often not commonly taught. It's often more important than the individual values. The impaired thyroid conversion is also important. So how is thyroid hormone actually converting? If it's not converting fully, you have a slowed metabolism present, and therefore you're not going to lose weight as easily. You're not going to feel as focused. Your heart's not going to function as well as it could. Your organs aren't receiving what they need. These are hormones that support the body. So when you deplete them, all the downstream functions get depleted. It's not natural to deplete these hormones. Chronic stress is not a natural state. And therefore the argument that not taking hormones is natural, that is not true in the state of hormonal imbalance, because when the hormones are imbalanced, not in ideal balance, It's often not due to natural causes, it's due to chronic stress, which is not a natural state of humans. Okay. I just really want you to take that in. So, for us to have longevity, for us to have optimal health, for us, our organs to function as well as they can for as long as possible, we need some support. And we've been deprived of what is naturally already available because of false information that I'm not going to get into in a lot of detail, but we are now clear that with proper care, that supplementation can be helpful. Weight resistance could be present despite all the effort that you're doing. You could be working out 2-3 hours a day and not seeing your weight budge, and that is not your fault. It is not something you're doing wrong. It is just a set of pathways in your body that need to be looked at and adjusted. And you keep doing what you're doing and maybe even do less, and you will start seeing better results. Fatigue, feeling tired but wired, that feeling. Having poor sleep quality or mood instability and anxiety. These symptoms are not random. They reflect coordinated physiological responses. So conventional approaches often fall short. Most approaches address symptoms in isolation, like diet changes, exercise adjustments, and supplement protocols, without addressing underlying signaling patterns, and therefore the results are inconsistent and temporary, right? So just doing exercise, just changing your diet, like fasting, just taking supplements is not going to move the needle when the underlying issue is hormonal. So we have to take a look. There's the only way, one way to know. And once we know, we can adjust. Now, what we look at, how we look at it, what we're interpreting from what we look at is not as black and white as you would think. It's not like a yes, present or absent. It's a, what does this symphony look like? How does this fit with what's happening inside my body? Is this within the optimal range for me? And I'll get into this conversation in a lot of depth in the program, and you'll really start to understand why I'm saying all this. But this gives you an idea of what the program is about and how we're looking at it. So what is the Kosher Flourish program? It is a collective. So we're starting off in a group, collective of women that are getting together in this physician design program that's focusing on restoring clarity and structure to your hormonal health through what I call what is known as a systems-based approach. It's not just saying, let's look at these numbers and fix them. We're looking at what else is also contributing to these numbers in the body, what other hormone systems are present and imbalanced, and how do we adjust this beautiful symphony. So understanding how your hormone system function together is part of the program. Identifying your unique pattern of dysregulation is something you're going to learn, and applying a structured, sustainable approach to making change over time is part of the opportunity to adjust and train your body to a new way of being. So we're going to meet monthly over live teaching sessions with Q&As. We'll meet over Zoom. We'll have a weekly systems-based guidance and education. So weekly, you're going to be receiving in your email directions from me on what to do that week. So I'd really love for all of you all who are interested to make sure that you're signed up to our newsletter. So you can do that by signing up for these webinars, or by texting the phone number that you see at the top of this document. And you can send a message. I'll just share that number with you again. It's right here. And get on our newsletter. 623-688-8844. You can say, I want to join your newsletter. And I will add you right in there. And you will be receiving information about the programs. You can sign up at the beginning of the month. So we start May 1st. You can also go to the website, which I'm going to show you the link in a second, where you can register directly right now. And there's also an email here for you to ask any questions. There is the opportunity on the website to do a free 15-minute consultation. If you're unsure of anything, please go ahead and book a time. So, we talked about what the sessions will include, what the weekly system is going to look like. You're going to have the option to do a couple of things as part of the program. You have the option to do your own testing. So I will be guiding you on what to get. You will decide if you want it or not, and I will be teaching you what that means in the program. Excuse me. So, inviting you to get signed up so you can start to look under the hood for yourself. For those of you that are international, please do reach out and ask questions and let me know where you are so that we can figure out what is best for you. This is an optional component. The nutrition guidance, the system support, the coaching, the Q&A sessions, the teaching, the education is still available to you if you don't do the actual testing. And it's optional for you to deep dive into one-on-one consultations with me, into coaching with me, or into a supplement guide with me. So who is it for? It's for women experiencing persistent symptoms despite healthy habits. It's for women who are navigating perimenopause and hormonal transitions. It's for those who are seeking a deeper systems level understanding of your health. Okay? So what do people often ask me? Well, they come to me for these questions. They say, Dr. Mimansa, my weight loss efforts are not working. And in the past, we were limited on what we could offer. But now there's a lot more available. So weight regulation is derived by hormonal signaling, not just calorie balance. Hopefully you all know that by now. But we will go over this again and why. Because I still hear sometimes, oh, I'm eating this low-fat thing or this low-calorie thing. And the body is much more complicated than that. Cortisol, thyroid, insulin, all play a role. How do I know if estrogen and progesterone imbalance? Many women experience relative estrogen dominance. Okay, so relative estrogen dominance is the key. It doesn't mean that your estrogen has to be elevated for that symptom to show up. If the progesterone is low, you have estrogen dominance. So often due to declining progesterone is the root cause first, rather than excess estrogen. I see both in people, but it is more predominant to have low progesterone. Do I need testing? Well, testing can be useful for refinement, but understanding the patterns is the first step. So knowing what to look for, and I'm going to walk you through that, and that'll also be part of your weekly content. So you're going to understand what to look for. This isn't just random emails. These are emails that I want you to actually interact with, read, do, click, go through it, learn, and then bring your questions to our monthly session. Testing is guided where clinically relevant. Okay. Is it appropriate for perimenopause? Yes, perimenopause represents a shift in hormonal signaling patterns. So oftentimes women will be in their late 20s and start feeling like they're entering perimenopause, early 30s, right? That's not unusual these days. So if that's the case, I would like you to consider this program because this is the right thing for you to learn. And this approach focuses on stabilizing those systems. The sooner you do it, the better. So if you're in your 20s and you're concerned about hormones, I invite you to join. This is a great program for you. Is it medical care? No, it's education and it's group-based. Medical care is handled separately through individualized one-on-one consultations directly with me when it's appropriate and when it is allowed based on regulatory conditions. So to enroll, just click on this link. And you're going to go right to this website. This is my website. You're going to see at the bottom, Hormone Membership for Women. So when you go to the home page, just scroll to the bottom. Kosha Flourish Hormone Membership for Women. You'll see this orange. Click on Join the Tribe. You see the orange again. It is only $2.99 a month. US dollars. Very accessible for those of you who are used to working with functional medicine doctors or working in functional medicine or longevity spaces. Hopefully you understand that this is really designed so that you can be part of it. So you go ahead and click on this link and you can read the consent and register right away to join the May 1st cohort. I am closing this group to make sure that it's tight and small, and then we'll open another cohort if that gets full. But if you want to join for May 1st, this is the link and this is the time. Okay, so I invite you to do that. Now, just to recap, chronic stress is often there in all of us these days. It's everywhere. It's rampant. It's hard to avoid, but it's part of the root cause. Now, I can say don't stress, but the reality is you have to work, you have to go to the grocery store, you got to take care of the kids if you've got them, or the family, or the cat, or the dogs, or yourself, and that's stressful, right? And so those are stressful things. So it leads to cortisol dysregulation, and we talked about some of those patterns. We'll go into that a lot more depth. Progesterone starts to decline. Estrogen goes off balance, the thyroid gets disrupted, and then you get these symptoms. Now, you can have a different order of these things. It doesn't have to occur in this order, but this is one pattern. And the resulting symptoms are weight resistance, so either trying to lose weight and you can't, or I also see people who are trying to gain muscle or maintain their, curves that are actually getting very frail and thin because of this stress response. So it happens both ways, and I'll share with you why it happens both ways. It's depending on your body type, and I do Ayurvedic medicine as well, so I bring elements of that into this communication and this holistic framework so you can understand the different body types and why one might be gaining weight while the other one actually loses weight under stress. They're still both bad because the balanced state is the balance. Right? It's not one extreme or the other. Weight resistance is a key for many people. Weight loss is also happening in a significant portion. Muscle loss takes place quite a bit. Fatigue, poor sleep, anxiety, mood changes, brain fog. If you're feeling any of these symptoms, check this program. So, thyroid, it's often metabolism and energy that are dictated by the thyroid, and it results when it's imbalanced in fatigue, weight gain or weight loss, depending on what's happening in the thyroid, and hair loss. Again, we can test the thyroid and think it's normal because it's showing up within range, but that is not optimal. So understanding what optimal ranges mean, understanding what bioidentical hormone therapy is versus just HRT, that is my focus, okay? So helping you understand, getting this information so you can understand this is what I want to empower you with, so that you're not just, blank listening to somebody say something and following and not getting results. I want you to learn so you can be in charge of this in your body. Estrogen. Estrogen is responsible for growth and repair, the skin, the brain, the bones. When it's high, you get weight gain and mood swings. When it's low, you get dryness and hot flashes. Progesterone is calming and balancing normally to the body, right? That's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be. When it's good, you get good sleep, you get nervous system balance. But when it's low, you'll have anxiety and PMS. So if you're getting strong PMS symptoms, it's a sign that your progesterone, your cortisol is likely off balance, and your progesterone is likely off balance. And same goes for your anxiety. If you're getting stress responses of anxiety, progesterone. Let's take a look. Testosterone, drive and strength, muscle, libido, focus. Yeah, the concentration, testosterone. We want this hormone. We don't want too much of it, but we want it in our body. Right? We got to test and see how it is. How is it doing? We have ways to improve your testosterone metabolism. Even if it's in the normal range, we can even improve it further. DHEA is another hormone that's part of the stress pathway. It's a precursor hormone often, and when it's imbalanced, it affects your energy and your resilience. So we check that as well. Cortisol, we went back to the patterns, the many different patterns of estrogen metabolism and cortisol, and how those are some of the initiating signs of stress. So back to this, if those of you are interested in any of these programs, learning more about your symptoms, I invite you to start here and go ahead and sign up. You can also go to the website and go to the contact page. All the information is here on how to get a hold of me. This is the headquarters. You can also send an email. Most of the work I'm doing right now is on telemedicine, so don't worry if you're not from Los Angeles. Still reach out. You can fill out this contact form. That'll get you into our systems, into our newsletter. So go ahead and fill that out, send a message if you'd like, and then you will start receiving reminders of program releases, next cohorts when we're recruiting, etc. And then lastly, I want to take you to book a call page. This is directly to my calendar where you can sign up. There are many slots available. I've opened this calendar up to the public for you to be able to book a 15-minute consultation with me directly. You can do so as early as tomorrow to get information. These slots are going to fill up. And then by next week, we're going to be starting. May 1st will be the first launch call. And then we will be starting the program in May. Okay? So I really do invite all of you who are interested in learning more to get involved now. Sign up, ask questions. Again, this is Dr. Mimansa of the Kosha Flourish program. I'm so excited to share this with you. I'll be coming on a Q&A again next Thursday at 5:30. So if you have any questions at all after you see this, book this on your calendar. I'm going to share with you the Zoom link. It's the same link. You just have to register, and it's just basically entering in your email so that you can be on the email list and join in. And you don't have to turn on your camera. You can just listen live, or you can get the recording afterwards. But get your questions answered, right? Get your question answered. Why wouldn't you? So take this opportunity to learn about your body. Women, learn about your body. If everything is perfectly normal and balanced, amazing. At least confirm that that's the case. I want you to feel empowered with this wisdom, with this knowledge that's available to you, right? It wasn't available to our moms or to our grandmas. They didn't have this access that you have today. So take advantage of it and join the Flourish program. I'd like to see all you women out there as part of this collective, as women rise together in their power and their strength, in their health and their longevity. There's so many topics we're going to cover in this collective, health being one of them. But in the process of being a human, being a woman in the modern day world, there are so many things that come up. And I really want this space to be a resource for all of you in other aspects of life as well. So join the collective, Kosha Hormones. We're doing Flourish, launching May 1st. I'm Dr. Mimansa. I invite you to take a deep breath. Thank you for sharing in this conversation. Dropping again into your heart space. From here, we take a deep breath. And exhale. Thank you for being part of this community. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week.